call it bakwa.
Oh, I would think of pork floss. Yeah.
Hey guys, good to see you once again. Today we have an exciting person that we want to learn from. I'm really happy when I have ladies on my set, girl power. Yes, her name is Bibiana Lim. She ventured out, from a stable job to go into entrepreneurship. Now, what she does is she helps companies grow their figures from 6 to 7. I mean, that is really a lot. He's a video art expert and an investor as well. So today we have on our set Bibi.
Yes.
Thank you for making time to
No
meet me.
problem.
How are you and how has been your week?
I think this week was pretty okay. It was quite busy
Right.
because of like all the COVID things. So right now it's really helping my clients to shift their like their business model to fully online.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's been quite
Okay.
hectic week.
Right, right. Oh, that's cool. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I know you've been doing a lot of things. I mean, I saw your profile and I've known you for a while as to what you do in investing and everything. But I want to understand, at what point were you like, okay, I'm done with this job. I want to go on my own.
Okay. So maybe I'll just bring you back
Sure,
like
sure,
into my
please.
past to like what actually happened.
Right,
So, I was taking like a very traditional like education road.
right,
So when, I graduated from like university, like I went to like find a job because, it's just a very like Asian thing. When you
Mm,
graduate from university, like everyone's like hounding you, oh, when
right.
are you gonna find a job? So yeah, so after I graduated, I applied to like at least like 20 different jobs, and I finally got like a job that I had, and it was like a lab job,
Right,
right? And it was actually like a 6 months contract because I think like the company wasn't doing very well and they couldn't really afford to hire like full-time people.
right,
So most of the people there were contract basis. So I was like, okay, as long as I have a job, like
right.
everything is good, right? But strangely, just like 2 months into the job, I actually went to like my manager and I told her that, oh, you know what, you don't need like a university graduate to be doing such a thing
Right.
because every day, like my work is just to go into lab and I just like shake test tubes and I record the results. So that's all I do,
Yeah.
like really.
Okay.
So I thought that, like within 2 months I was really bored and every day I'm like questioning like what am I doing in my life? And then after that, like eventually, like 6 months when the contract ended, they actually like renewed me for another year. They
Oh,
increased my pay. So I was like,
just to keep
okay,
you.
yeah, just to keep me. So I was like, okay, why not I just like stay and see a little bit. But then in just like 2 weeks, I'm just like, okay, I'm done.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm done.
That's a lot of courage to
Yeah, and I think like at that point of time, because I felt like the working culture in the
Mm,
company was quite unhealthy.
mm,
Like some of the seniors were really mean to you. I think because
right.
you're like a junior, and there's a lot of like hierarchy
Oh, okay.
that goes
Okay.
on as well. I
Okay.
think it's very common
Right.
in most working environments. So I just thought like, I don't feel like purposeful. I don't feel happy. And I just felt like, I'm going to work, I'm earning money, but, I just feel so
Mm,
unfulfilled.
right. Right.
And it
Right.
just came to a point where I decided that, you know what, my happiness is worth so much more
Right.
for
Right.
me. And I just decided to quit without like any backup.
You know, um, um, so yeah, you quit without any backup. But I would like to know, did you possess any skills that you said, okay, I'm gonna quit, but at least this can help me do something, or you just went there with nothing?
Yeah, so actually the moment when I quit, I think it was because like it was so painful for me to stay in a job. So I just rather, and I'm still like really young, right? Back
Right.
then I was like in my early 20s. I was like, I have like another like 60 more years of
Right.
like work to do. I was like, what's this? I can just take like a short break and
Right.
kind of like decide what I
Right.
want. So that was the reason why I actually left my job. And no,
Mm.
I did not have any like backup plans
Wow.
or anything.
Wow, that's scary.
Yeah, that's really scary for most people. But sometimes I feel that, you just have to take that leap of faith
Right.
burn your bridges, and then you really force yourself to be creative and see what you really have to do. So I mean, if anyone's like stuck in this crossroads of life, I mean, if you don't have any like liabilities, I'm just assuming like people have no liabilities like a housing loan,
Yeah.
a car loan, children to take care of. And if your finances can support you, maybe like being jobless for maybe a few months, I think I would, highly encourage people to do that, to really, just go and explore.
Yeah. But I want to know, let's say after you quit, right?
Yeah.
The next morning you woke up and you're like, I'm jobless. So how did you deal with that first few weeks, whereby, I mean, you were expected to go out there and you personally also feel something missing. Like, how did you, or what are the steps you took immediately to start something?
Okay. I think for me it was more of like I felt so much happier.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I wasn't so worried about like I'm jobless, because
Right.
I think I knew that like I still have so many years ahead.
Right.
Like it's okay to take like a few months of break.
Right.
So I actually went for like a holiday in
Oh,
Malaysia.
I see.
Yeah. So I think everything happened by coincidence as
Right.
well. I was just like scrolling through like my Facebook, and I just happened to saw a post that like my friend shared someone else's post to say that he's hiring. And I was like, hey, I remember this guy. I've met him before, and he teaches people how to invest.
Right.
Yeah, so I was like, I've been wanting to learn investing for a long time, and maybe if I join the company,
Right.
I can learn something. And so that was like what I did. I think it was all like a coincidence that things will start like happening for
Right.
you. All you have to do is really just to put yourself down, look at your explore your opportunities, and eventually I believe that it will come to you.
Right. Right. That's really good. So I know at some point you started videography. So investing to videography, what's that bridge that gets you there?
Okay, so because I graduated from like a background in biology, right? And I think like when I tell people like, oh, I'm doing like videography or like marketing related things now, people
Yeah, of course.
like, yeah, it's completely unrelated, right? So what actually happened was when I joined the company, I learned about so that's where I got my knowledge about investing, and I was put in the department of to run the operations
Okay.
of the company. And then long story short, they acquired another company, and there was like some
Oh,
restructuring
okay.
going on. So back then, that's the CEO asked me like, what's like your interest and all that, and I was just like, I don't know. I kind of like have some hobby to shoot like random videos
Right.
and things like that. So I thought that. Then he said that, oh, I think you'll be like a perfect fit for the marketing team. You can like
Okay.
shoot videos for them. And at that point of moment, I was just like, I shoot videos for fun,
Right.
and it's really terrible videos that is shot like on a cheap like $100 camera. It's like something like a GoPro knockoff
Right.
that I'm so embarrassed of when I look back now. So I just created like really random videos. So I was like, oh, I think it'd be really good. And I just panicked because I've never even held like a professional camera
Right.
before. And I was just like, okay, since he see talent in me, which I don't see myself, I just decided to like go ahead and try it anyway. Yeah, so that was how my journey of videography like started. I bought
Right.
like online courses to
Right.
learn, watch tons of YouTube videos, and that's in a way like how I got to where I am today. That's the videography
Right.
part.
Right. So throughout this journey, right, what would you say has really changed in your mindset?
Mm,
What has really changed? What do you think?
I think it's really so. Back then, I was a person who was really narrow-minded.
Right.
I would say like I was a very skeptical person, and I realized that I got this from my dad. So actually, I felt that like it's very common. Also, I feel that a lot of things people will just say like, "Oh, this cannot be done. That cannot be done. It's impossible," and things like that. So I was brought up in that kind of environment, and
Right.
there were a lot of things that I believed in. But if you tell me, like, if you ask me, like now, and when I look back, I felt that the biggest difference was, just the something very simple of being like just more big, just more open-minded to the things around you.
Right.
And sometimes like people can share with you their experiences. They'll say like like for example, my parents, they lost a lot of money in the stock market. They had to pay off my uncle's debts
Right.
because he squandered like the money away in the stock market. and they told me like, oh, the stock market is bad, it's not good for you. And for me, it was like, okay, the stock market is bad for you guys, but how come there are successful people who can do exactly the same thing? Like, for something to not be true, there has to be, something that is like on the other end of the spectrum. So I ask myself, like, is this really what I want to believe in, or do I want to learn from the people who are really successful in what they do? So I think that it is the concept of being, open-minded to these kind of things, rather than, let's say I tell you like, oh, fried food is not good for you. You have to like go and explore other options, go and figure out on your own, and then I think and form your own judgment rather than listen to other people's experiences.
I think you'll be you are a really good inspiration for young ladies out there. Trust me, Bibi is very young, but so I want you to like speak to our audience out there, young, especially the ladies who are scared of taking action. What do you think are action steps they can take? I mean, in this situation, wherever they are.
So I think one thing that people will find very scary is, let's say you want to like have a goal of maybe like, let's say like leaving your job and finding like what you love to do and all that kind of thing. So I think sometimes when you set goals that are too big, it can seem a bit too scary, and that's where procrastination sets in. Like back then, even for myself, if you knew me just like 4 or 5 years back, I'm like a completely different person. I was like lazy. There was so many things that I didn't do. I always procrastinated on a lot of things. But then yet at the same time, I was thinking about, oh, it would be fantastic if my life is like this, and this. Right. So one thing that I realized that worked well for me was to set like really, really small goals. It can be as simple as, for example, if let's say if I want to study videography, it can be as simple as like, okay, today I watch one YouTube tutorial on how to shoot better videos or something along those lines. Right. It's really setting like small goals so that you will get like more and more confident in the future. Because like big goals, it will just like kind of like scare you away.
And do you think there are challenges that entrepreneurs face, especially when they are women, and how can they overcome that?
Okay, definitely I do think like women have it a bit tougher, because when you're a lady, I'm not like trying to be like sexy for anything here. So, but I just feel like as ladies, sometimes like people won't respect you because they will just think like, there's a lot of like jokes on the internet going around, like, oh, make me a sandwich kind of thing. So yeah, I think it's really, showing people that you have what it takes and you can deliver results to people. And I always feel that, you should always use being a lady to your advantage. So what do I mean by that, right? Like, I'm in the field of like marketing, right? And I can tell you that out of, let's say 10 marketers you need, only maybe like 0.5 will be like a lady.
True.
So, you go into, how should I say, you go into industries that, they have like very little females, and you'll be able to stand out like naturally, and you'll be good at like what you do. So another example is like investing. Like out of 10 people, maybe there's only like 1 or 2 female investors, right? So I think that being a female has its advantages. It's just that you need to know where and when to use it. And I feel that, if you can penetrate into like a industry that, is mostly dominated by males, it's like you don't even have to do anything, you just have to be a female. Yeah, and I feel that it does have its advantages, because one thing that I feel that you should always learn how, when you want to stand out from your competitors, regardless if you're an employee, you run a business and all that, like you always have to find out like what's the best way that you can differentiate yourself from all your other competitors. And if you're in like a male dominated industry, just being female makes you stand out.
Right. That's really true. Wow, that's good sharing. Also want to ask about, as an investor, I think one of your goals is building assets. For any young person out there, what would you advise to be the action step they can take to start the journey into investing?
Okay, so when I first started my investing journey, so back to like, my parents' story, and they told me like investing is a scam and all that. I decided to look at the most successful investors in the world. But so I believe that the first step is like you have to, really do your own research and you have to believe that
Mm.
it is possible, because the moment you believe that it's impossible, then it will never come true for you.
Right.
So once you do your research and you know that, oh, there are successful people who are doing this, and the next step is really to delve deep into the details
Right.
to find out, like, okay, like how can I like learn about investing. So when I was 18, I told my dad, I was like, please bring me to open a brokerage account.
Oh, okay.
Which I did nothing for like, I think like 4 or 5 years. So because I know that I wanted to like invest, but I just didn't know how. I tried to read tons of investment books, but it's just so complicated. It's just so confusing. I would try to watch YouTube videos. I went on like Wikipedia and all that. It didn't work for me.
Mm.
So I decided that, I mean, people learn in different ways. Maybe,
Yes.
you know, like videos and reading books will work for you. I did that for 4 to 5 years. I had no results until that's when I decided to join like an investment course, a class to really teach you. And I was like, why didn't I attend this earlier? Yeah, I used to believe like courses like that
Right.
it's like it was like a
Scam or
scam
something,
and all
yeah.
that kind. I mean, I think there's a few like black sheeps in the industry that really taints the name, but I would say that, you know, you never try, you never know, and I
Right.
think like reviews are very important
Mm,
as well.
mm.
So I mean, if you're intending to go for like a course and all that, it's very important to, you know, look out for, do your research and make sure that it's a good course as well.
I see. I see. You know, also one thing that young people have in mind is building a good CV.
Mm.
I saw BBC. It's unique. You know, the skill sets are amazing. But what are some of the skills you think that will be essential in the next coming, is it 5 years? What do you think?
Okay. I'm not trying to be biased here, but I think like the number one most important skill that everybody needs is marketing.
Mm,
Because at the end of the day, wherever you go, let's say maybe today I want to apply for like a new job,
yeah.
for example, I'm competing with at least like 5 to 10, maybe even 20 other people. How can I stand out from all these people? So marketing is always about how can you stand out from your competitors, right? And it's so applicable, not just only to being an employee, but also if you're running a business as well. So, I mean, some people might disagree with me and say that, oh, sales should be the number one skill because every time you're like selling yourself, right? So for me, it's like, you know, if you cannot even attract people,
Right.
then what's the point of selling,
Right.
right? You need to attract people first before you close a sale. So
Right.
marketing, I feel that is always like the first step that everybody needs to master. And it was actually the CV that I sent to you that
Yeah.
got me the attention of Nas Daily.
Oh,
Yeah, so he was like, your CV was like really, really good. He said he's never received like something like that before.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, really, his CV is really impressive. But aside from marketing, but I'm curious. So, are you going to have an interview with Nas or what? Did you join this video academy or something?
I am planning to join, but not yet.
Not
Yeah,
yet,
because
okay.
I'm really like busy now. So once my time like frees up, I'll definitely be joining.
Yeah. So, apart from marketing, what else? What else do you think? One other skill?
One other skill is, okay, I feel like marketing is kind of like a life skill.
Yeah.
So that is kind of like settled. The second skill is probably, again, I'm very biased, but it's like you have to learn how to invest.
Okay.
Because like once you settle your life, you have to settle your finances,
Yes.
right? So there's so many schools of thoughts of like investing, and sometimes it can get really confusing
Yes.
for a beginner. I really think it's just going out, studying them, and you need to know yourself really well, right? Like sometimes I even tell my friends, because there are some people who have a more speculative mindset. They are not like the long-term kind of holders, but in a way they feel like, okay, long-term is the way to go, but I have a very speculative heart. So usually like what I'll tell them to do is, it's okay, you can do like a few speculative trades, maybe like 10% of your portfolio.
Right.
And then the rest like you hold long term. So it's really understanding and knowing yourself really well, finding out what investment style suits you the
Right.
best.
Right.
So for me, it's like, I think I'm the kind of person that I'm kind of, I don't want to do too much. I just want to do, kind of like put in a little bit of effort and get like a lot of results.
Yes.
So for me, I'm more focused on like long-term holding, like value investing
Yes.
kind of style.
Yes.
I know that the moment I heard it, I was like, okay, I know that this is for me.
Right.
But there, I do have a lot of friends who are traders, like short-term traders.
Yes.
They do day trading, all that kind of thing. And it's because they enjoy the thrill
Yes.
of like looking at like charts
Chart,
like up
yeah.
and down. I'm not that kind. I'm just be like, okay, I just invest in this, I just sleep on it for like the next few years, and then okay, I'll see how after
Right,
that.
right.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So, Bibi started from investing. Now she's into video marketing. So, what's next for Bibi?
Wow, that's an interesting question. So I've thought about this for quite a while, and I have decided to, because like right now I've helped like businesses to scale up
Yeah.
to certain size, and I really thought of like how can I like give back this knowledge to the community or even like people who are watching this. And I felt like the best way for me is I'm gonna be starting my own course soon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
On videography or what?
yeah, so I'm gonna teach people about like video marketing.
Yes.
I'm gonna teach them how to shoot, how to edit videos for social media. Not just that, I'll teach them like all the secrets that I've learned when it
Ooh.
comes to like putting out content
Right.
on social media as well, and how I actually built businesses along the way. So I think one thing that a lot of people, maybe some people might feel that, oh, I'm not like good enough to start a business and all that kind of thing. Actually, there's like a formula that you can actually
Right.
follow that can help you build this business, and you can sell to other people without feeling salesy.
Right.
Like I think salespeople have like a really, really bad
Yeah. Everybody
reputation.
runs
Yeah.
from salespeople.
Yeah, everybody runs from salespeople, exactly. So even me myself, I hated sales. Like even when I was doing like part-time jobs when I was schooling, like I would run away from all the sales jobs. That's how much I hate it. But right now I see sales in a very different light, because sales is more of like influence and persuasion rather than, hey, this product's really good for you,
Right.
you have to buy it, kind of thing. And when you produce like so much good results for other people, and people see like you have like tons of testimonials,
Right.
there's really like no reason why people shouldn't be buying from you.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's all like it's a process, I would say, that most people are unaware of, and that's really like how I want to like contribute and pay it forward
Right,
to
right.
the people.
Yeah. So when is the beta program coming up?
I'm hoping to launch it by next month,
Wow.
so that's pretty soon.
So will it be on Teachable or what?
Yeah, it's gonna
Okay.
be on
But no
Teachable.
live lessons. Like no
Yeah.
physical class yet.
Yeah, I think because of like the COVID, it's really
Okay,
difficult to
okay,
have
okay.
like
I
physical.
get you.
Yeah,
I
but I
get
used to have like physical classes, so most likely it will be like an online course.
Okay,
for now.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's really good.
Yeah.
Now before we sign off, we have a game for Bibi. We give her words, and whatever comes to her mind,
Okay.
she say.
Okay.
So first word, chicken.
Nuggets.
Okay. Beach.
Where?
What?
Beach where?
Oh, beachwear.
Beach where?
Oh, I know she loves to go to the beach. If you go to her Facebook page, a lot of
Oh yeah.
and this one, my favorite part, that's a Chinese one. They call it bakwa.
Oh, I would think of pork floss. Yeah, because usually like you buy like bakwa and like pork floss together.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we just sign off, any last word for people out there? Any advice or things that you would say to inspire people to take action into entrepreneurship?
So I think one of the most common problems, I would say, when people are thinking about entrepreneurship is that it's really tough and it's really scary. And I feel that it's very important to surround yourself with the right group of people who are
Right.
very encouraging. When I first started my journey, I didn't have like friends who were like supportive or
Right.
anything. Even like my parents were like, "Oh, are you sure? I don't think you should do this. It's not good for you. Just stay in a stable job," kind of thing. So I feel that it's very important to have a good circle of friends. And I mean, you can just like look at your friends right now and see, in a way, like, are they supportive of
Right.
you and your goals? And another thing is, I can just assure you that entrepreneurship is not easy. It's going to be slightly tougher than what maybe you're currently used to right now. But I will tell you that it will be the most fulfilling journey that you will ever take in your
Right.
life. There's nothing that is more fulfilling than this. I mean, definitely beats going from like a 9 to 5 job every day, and you just feel like so unfulfilled. Like
Right.
I don't know how I even got
I
through.
know the
to it.
feeling. I know the feeling, right?
Yeah, I'm sure like most people can relate to that.
Right.
And it's really about, exploring all the options that you have out
Yes.
there. So whatever that you've always wanted to try, when you're young and all that kind of thing, just go ahead, go out and try it. Like, I'll just tell like a quick story. My dad, like, he was always interested in singing, but his mom never allowed him to do so
Wow.
because she said that you can never make money with singing. And we had like a really good conversation just a few, like 5-6 months ago. And I asked him, like, what was something that you really wanted to do before you die?
Wow.
And he said that my mom was in the car as well, like, and she was listening to our conversation. Then he's like, "Oh, your dad always wanted to be a singer."
Wow.
Then I was like, "So why isn't he singing?" Then he said, "Then she that was when I found out that like my grandmother didn't allow him. Yeah. But now that she's no longer around, I was like, you can sing
As much
as much as you want." It's so funny because like just within 2 weeks he bought like a home karaoke system.
Wow. Wow.
And he signed up for like 2 singing classes.
Wow.
And I think he's like on track to like going for his first singing competition this year.
Wow.
So it's so crazy. It drives my mom crazy. It's just so funny because my mom, he's singing every single day.
Wow.
And my mom is like, "Oh, can you please stop singing?"
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. One thing I'm learning from this, she inspired the dad to take action, to pursue what he loved. And that is the reason why we are having this conversation. We know so many of you out there, you've been really wanting to start that business. You've been really wanting to do that unique thing that the world is waiting for, but you're being held back, maybe by your past, maybe somebody shut you down. But just as BB inspired the dad, we want you to take action. Take action now. The world needs you. Okay. All right. This is what we have time for, and I hope you've learned a lot from BB. Like and share this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and stay blessed.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, BB. Thank you so much. All right.
Can I just add something?
Yes, please.
Quick? So if you guys, let's say if you guys are, you need any like marketing resources or anything, just feel free to find me on social media. I will have those free resources for you.
I'll post a link on to BB's Facebook page so that you can follow her. Really, you're really gonna learn a lot from her. Okay?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, all right. Take care.